That's the end of D4.
Welcome back, folks. Yes, you heard it right. That's the end of D4, as finally all of us Stalker fans are getting the conflict of duty versus freedom again, after all these years, which makes me really happy, as one problem I always had in Stalker 2 is that they were in this fragile peace and honestly nowhere to be seen. So most of the war between them was done through proxies, not directly, but now gloves are off, my fellow Stalkers. So yesterday on Xbox Partner Showcase, GSC revealed the long-awaited trailer for Cost of Hope, which will take us back into CNPP, as that location was not the part of the main game, and to be able to explore it again in great detail is really nice. Now, there is a lot to unpack here, so let's go through everything we know so far and what I was able to see. Of course, if you've seen something extra, please tell me down below in the comments. Now, in the description of DLC, they said that we are heading out on a new expedition into the zone in this massive non-linear expansion, with dozens of gameplay hours packed with unforgettable stories and twisted characters wrapped in the signature atmosphere of decay with a flicker of hope, where we get to see new locations, cutting through the Iron Forest mazes, and yes, Limansk, as you can see here before the tunnel, or well, road leading to Limansk itself, as the sign says. We also get to see the hospital. At least I think this might be the same hospital we visit in the Clear Sky. I mean, they know the best, just ask them if you can find any members. So the fragile peace between the bitter rivals is shattered. Pick a side in a tangled web of intrigue and half-truths, where no choice is clean or truly right. In the image we also see Zulu, or at least I think it's going to be Zulu, with Mavka, but I'm not sure if that's her. Actually, she is an announcer in the arena, she is a freedomer, and because, you know, freedom controls Rostock, I think they might actually include her into this, you know, story. They seem to be the focal point of probably our choices. Now, this scene aside, of course a duty member would hang around a freedomer, they just cannot help themselves, just as a freedomer cannot help themselves when they see a bloodsucker. Now, we could have some Romeo and Juliet type situation here, who knows, I mean, that's just how I see them in this cover art. We haven't seen Zulu in a while though, ever since we were going to Pripyat with him in Call of Pripyat, so canonically he does survive, so I'm very happy for it. So going through the trailer, we see that this situation is already discussed between loners, so think of it as an additional thing to do aside from the main story. Now, they also said it will actually influence, or it might influence the main story a little bit, but you can think of this as more like a detour from everything that happens with Spark and Ward, and you know, everything with the main story of Stalker 2 itself. In this story though, we will play again as Skiff, so no changes on that, like we're not gonna be playing any other characters, as he is also present in the bar retelling what transpired on that day. I think some people were expecting that maybe if we get this, you know, expansion DLC, that maybe we get to play as someone else, but no, I think that GSC wants to keep Skiff as this central pivotal character of, you know, Stalker 2. Next scene takes us right into this heated discussion between General Voronin and Mikula, where something big happened, probably again related to Zulu, as he was present during this conversation. It seems that he was also angry as he was approaching next to Voronin, so maybe like he is involved in all of this, and because he is present throughout the rest of the trailer, I think he probably is. There was probably a joint mission that went horribly wrong or something similar to it, and now Freedom wants answers, and Voronin won't give up his soldiers that easily because, well, the 4 agreement states that if a member of one party attacks the other, the affected party has the right to survey the suspected aggressor. Also, can I just say that this monologue from Tachenko, which actually keeps playing in the background of this trailer, like honestly chills down my spine. For those who don't know, the 4 agreement was drafted in 2013 to stop the fighting between duty and freedom. Negotiations were led by Ward, or well by Korshunov, and this agreement was basically a way for Ward to establish full and total control of the zone, pacifying all other factions in the process. This also included Strider and his Noon faction, as we do have that in the agreement in writing. The agreement is also supposed to discuss how recruitment will be done, alongside giving, Rostock, as I said, to Freedom. So technically Freedom got the better end of the deal. I mean, no wonder Voronin is so mad, as this was a long time coming. That was also prior to Operation Zenith to capture generators, and that went great. I mean, it was one of the most devastating failures, resulting in almost every single possible casualty you could imagine. And just that event itself would shake both duty and freedom to its core, so no wonder this peace was already fragile the moment they signed it. But then also Voronin says D4 is over, meaning all prior deals are done. But this also makes me think, yeah, of course they will be at each other's throats, they represent different ideals. But what if there is more to it? I mean, why would we see Zulu and probably Mavka in that cover art? I mean, there is more to it for sure. In any case, GSE is also giving us more Heckler Koch guns, which I'm very excited to try out. And in this little moment where we are grabbed by a duty soldier, do you see what he carries? As far as I know, and I'm not some weapons expert, I think this is SKS. Of course, I could be wrong, but man, if that's going to be the case, we are in for a ride, as I believe this was one of the most requested weapons to add in the game, and it seems developers are adding it. Now, besides the Limansk sign, the hospital, we also get to see a glimpse of what seems to be X-16 lab, which would sort of make sense, as in the end we also get to see that psi emitter, or well, this embryo that was initially in those old Stalker 2 trailers, but we never really, saw it in the game itself. It never made an appearance until now. They also showed us a reactor core within the plant itself. We can see that because of these control rods, which are a part of the RBMK reactor, which, guess what, never explodes, but I do wonder if there is graphite on the ground. And just to see it in this amount of detail is fantastic. I mean, I was really sad when we initially learned that we cannot go to the plant, but having them take more time to really expand on it and add more locations, or well, hubs to connect it in a proper way is better in my opinion. Besides that, it seems cadavers will be present. They are sort of super soldiers experimented on or created in a way in those labs, and you're supposedly controlling them through those helmets. And because we see, this guy wearing that helmet in this scene, I think it's safe to assume they will be here. Now, I doubt we're going to see a huge number of them, so I mean, it really depends on A-Life and how it spawns them, but in any case, they are going to appear. This also might be some mini boss within the DLC itself. I mean, it's too early to say. I'm also not sure why Zulu and I think Voronin are fighting in this shot. Like I told you, there is so much that is happening behind the scenes with these factions that there is really no right or wrong. I mean, who knows, this scene might even depend on our choices. I also suspect some psi control could be present here, people going nuts. It's not the first time it happens in the Stalker franchise. But we will be going here with Zulu. I mean, first of all, he knows the road. Like I said, he was present before, especially with this little moment where Snork attacks us. We can see his big head pop out for a second. Cost of Hope also brings back Svarog Detector, as that wasn't a part of Stalker 2. It was replaced by Veles, but not anymore. I swear the moment I get my hands on Svarog, any other detector is getting tossed in the trash. I do expect a lot more artifacts, being that those reactors are the core of everything which was happening, for the lack of a better word, where over the years who know what new anomalies also appeared within it. I do like the weather additions as well. In this particular scene, this fog looks very nice. I hope this weather condition will properly appear throughout the entire zone, as now we do have some haze happen here and there, in some locations. I mean, you can say swamps have it in some way, but it's definitely not as aggressive as it is in this shot, so this looks very nice. Cost of Hope is now set for summer 2026 with no exact release date and no price on it. Now, I just hope there won't be any more delays to this. There is also some extra info from their official Discord. So first off, Cost of Hope will be available for free for owners of the Ultimate Edition only. Pre-order has nothing to do with that, as they said. Someone asked if this DLC will play into some new alternative ending for the game, as we already talked about. They said it's too early to talk about it, but I mean, who knows? For me, this signals it might. Also, DLC will be integrated within the game itself. I think probably we get a notification for it in the second act or something similar to it. I mean, I really doubt it would unlock right away, especially considering that the plant itself is going to be sort of that high level area, possibly even later throughout the story. And speaking of what was previously known as patch 1.9, GSC said a while back that it was a sort of mistake that they initially called it like that because, as per their words, their numbered patches were bigger in size, as this next patch for the game will be new free mission, new location, some bug fixes, and new loading screens. So we shouldn't be overhyped. And we also don't have any specific news of any AI features or changes within it yet. Also in the Xbox Wire, GSC talks more about it, where decisions we make here can influence the zone and everyone in it. So I mean, of course it could feature again alternative ending for the main game. No way that doesn't happen in some way, because this is the plant, this is where everything happens. I also do wonder how Strelok feels about all of this, and if Strelok is going to be even involved in this story, or how are they going to do it now within the main story of Stalker 2. I'm really confused on how this is going to flow. And they also said this: just like that original trilogy, Stalker 2 will be comprised of 3 installments, with Cost of Hope forming the middle chapter of this second trilogy, together with the future second story DLC, which we will talk about when the time is right. It will form a new large story within the Stalker saga. So devs are very ambitious here to expand on the core experience of Stalker 2. I mean, they said they want to continue supporting this game for a long time, and this is a very good signal for it. But for everyone who maybe wants to play this game later, I think if you want to start playing this now, you can, because the game is really fun. But if you're waiting for engine upgrade or maybe the Cost of Hope, then you can of course wait for that. But in any case, I don't want to go on for too long. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. We are still very much far away from its release. Of course, when that new update comes, you can expect my breakdown of it alongside all the other info we learn in the meantime. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing for more Stalker 2. Join our community on Twitter and Discord, and huge thanks to my Patreon supporters. This is LKM signing out, and for now, get out of here, Stalker.